What religion do you need to be able to join a Rotary club? Hello everyone, welcome to Tagline, where we unveil Rotary District 9212. I am your host, Rotarian Caroline Giro, and in today's inaugural episode, we have a double treat. We have none other than the passionate leaders of Rotary District 9212 and its youthful division, Rotaract District 9212. District Governor Leonard Ithao and District Rotaract Representative Nancy Njeri are our first guests of this season. Fact or fiction? Sometimes we have myths that are said about Rotary or Rotaract, the organization. And I'm going to give a chance to our District Governor Leonard Ithao and our District Rotaract Representative Nancy Njeri to answer these questions and tell us whether they are fact or fiction. A round of quick fire questions where they're going to answer in a very short form the questions that we put to them. Welcome, DG.
Thank you. Delighted to be here.
Dear Nancy Njeri.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
So, first things first, when we talk about Rotary and Rotaract, we say that you're coming to join leaders. It's not lost on me that the two leaders we have both in Rotary and Rotaract for our districts are both engineers. Is this a coincidence? And even as you answer that, perhaps you can tell us, whenever you go to a Rotary meeting, for example, you have members stand up and introduce themselves and say, my name is Caroline and my classification is communication. My name is Nancy and my classification is engineering. Leonard, it's project management, and so on and so forth. What can you tell us? Let's start with you, Leonard. Why are professions and vocations seemingly so important when it comes to Rotary?
Thank you, Caroline. Having a vocation is essential. It's one of the essential ingredients of Rotary. We bring people who have specialist vocations or areas of interest, and we connect them with communities in need. They have the ability through their vocations, be they a doctor, be they an engineer, be they a lawyer, to bring that expertise to resolve the issues facing community. So it's essential.
Okay. So when we say that you mentioned some professions and some of them are looking, really high-end jobs, doctors, engineers, are those the only kind of people who become Rotarians?
Not at all. It is any vocation. I just mentioned a few that one has built over the years with the experiences, the networks, ability to connect people, resources, solutions to issues in the community. That's all that's required.
Oh, great. Fantastic. Do you have an instance where, for example, your background, maybe, as an engineer or in project management, has come in handy in your journey as a Rotarian?
Yes, indeed it has. My journey in being able to define and scope a problem, to be able to motivate individuals to come together in the most simplest of ways to realize that they together can really achieve a really steep and impactful solution for community without even understanding the complexity behind it.
And it's good you'd say that, because I know that we have the youth nowadays today. They say the youth are the future. And we have Rotaract.
Yeah.
For you, who is a leader already, you're probably in your 20s, and you're already at the helm of an organization that is in 4 countries. Yeah. So would you say that your background as an engineer has led you to this level, or what do you think has propelled you to a point of leadership in Rotary? Rotary.
Oh, thank you, Caroline. Yes, my career definitely. I started off as a student in an institutional-based club that is the Dan Kimathi University, and I remember we used to be this that our club was basically all engineers. Yeah, it was. We had to do a lot of membership drives to get other courses to join the Rotaract club. And from that, some of my mentors in Rotaract and engineering have also introduced me to Rotaract. And from it, I have gotten so many connections. I've learned so many things. I've had so many experiences. So yes, basically that is engineering. My baseline as an engineer, and my friends who are engineers have led me to this point and encouraged me to grow as a leader, to not just stop as club director. If you feel you can have more impact in any other category, like go and become a projects join the projects docket, learn more, do activities that are in school renovations. Our project was in the Dan Kimathi was actually a renovation, and I remember us engineers were the ones who were on the forefront of doing the BOQs, you know. So it is exciting that even as our professions have an impact on the work we have and the work we do in the society.
Thank you. And I think one of the things that many people might not know about Rotaract is that Rotaractors, in as much as they are young, they are all professionals in their own way.
Yes.
You're a member of the Rotary Club of Nairobi East. What are some of the professions that we see there? I know some of them are students, maybe starting on their first jobs or looking for jobs. What are some of the professions that you see displayed in Rotaract clubs?
We cut across, I think, every profession you can think of. We have people in communications, in project management. We have people in the financial field. Like our club has been in financial, the financial dockets, careers. That is, we have people in branding. We have practically every possible docket you can think of. Any career you can think of in Rotaract. We scope out everything. Yes. It's not just, we have engineers, software engineers, structural engineers, we have mechatronics engineers, we have photographers, people in the creative industry. We have every possible docket.
How rich, how diverse. That's really wonderful.
Yeah.
And maybe I get back to you, Leonard. We say that, we hear it said that Rotary makes leaders and that every Rotarian is a leader. Do you think there's any truth to that sentiment? And for your personal journey in Rotary, for example, how did leadership play a role? How do you get to be a Rotarian and growing leadership? I know you've been a leader in other avenues of your life, but is there any truth to that sentiment?
I do believe there is, and everyone who joins Rotary is a leader in his or her own right. And they brought together a group of 10, 20, 30, sometimes even 100, each of them believing truthfully that they are able to lead. So to be able to be a leader amongst leaders, I think is a special challenge that comes being a leader in Rotary, and one that really tests you to grow certain skill sets, especially around emotional intelligence, about getting consensus as best possible before proceeding, and to be a better listener. So I think that really increases your leadership potential. This is the sort of leadership that is required in today's very dynamic and diverse world, that inclusivity of others, even the most quiet person in the corner, is very important.
Yes, and following up on that, how would you say, what did it take for you to become district governor of Rotary District 9212? I know you joined Rotary in your 50s. What was that journey like? Did you have any other positions before you got to district governor? Yeah?
It's actually been quite a short but very intense journey. And I would not have been district governor today if I didn't get the nudge to become president of my club. And it happened not intentionally. The person who was supposed to take office took up another role to set up a new club. And so I was next in line, being the one who garnered the next number of votes to be that. So it was quite unexpected. And that was one. Second was when, after being president, I was appointed an assistant governor to manage 3 clubs. But even that's really not enough. What I think broke the camel's back, so to speak, was my appointment by past district governor Joe Otin to be the first inaugural chairperson of the executive committee of the district. For the first time, had a total view of how our district runs, the issues that we have or needed to resolve, but more importantly was the potential, the real potential that we have in our numbers, our vocations, our networks, our ability to form partnerships that, if harnessed efficiently and in a focused way, could really deliver massive impact in our communities.
Massive impact indeed. What I'd like to know, especially for you, maybe Nancy, Rotaractors are, the younger people and may not have the experience or even the resources that many Rotarians have. What would you say is the link between Rotaract and Rotary, especially when it comes to nurturing leaders?
If you read the objects of Rotaract, you will realize that Rotaract was formed because there was a Interact was formed in 1962, and it is organized in high school, 14 to 18. Rotary had been there since 1905, and they realized that there's a gap that when people leave this high school, they do not have the financial capacity. They are still growing as young professionals. They even joining campus. Yeah. So Rotaract was created to enable these young leaders or this young generation to grow into becoming Rotarians. So one of the objectives to enable the youth to be ready to be Rotarians. And the best part about our district, even with DG being here, we are having programs and partnerships and the synergy we've been talking about, such that a lot of mentorship is going on. A lot of, like the way we talk about us having impactful projects. In the past, we couldn't get grants. But right now, Rotarians are doing projects with us so that we can learn the small nitty-gritties on how to have a large-scale and impactful project. For our careers, we have very many mentors and programs. Like, for example, the mentorship programs that we've planned on and have been going on in every club, from club level to district level. So Rotaractors are learning a lot and growing to become better leaders and professionals in their various careers and also in life.
Would you say that the partnership between Rotaract and Rotary helps in any way for Rotaractors to get opportunities in regards to mentorship, finding jobs or things of that nature?
Yes. I don't know if people even know that we have like a Rotaract LinkedIn. It's called Kazi Connect.
Yeah.
And in terms of profession, the only way you can be part of Kazi Connect, the app itself, is you have an RI number. Yeah, only Rotarians and Rotaractors. So it is a platform where, for example, Rotarians post and Rotaractors can post if they have jobs. Rotaractors can post if they're looking for jobs, if they're looking for a mentor. You just post it on it and you get the connection you're looking for to grow in whatever field that you want, to get the job opportunity that you want. So yeah, this relationship helps us.
It's a worthwhile partnership.
Yes, it is.
That's good to hear. I think both of you have mentioned projects, you've mentioned impact, you've mentioned projects. And we hear that Rotarians are people who come together to do projects, community service projects. We know that Rotary has projects in the 7 focus areas, which allow you to streamline yourself, from fighting disease, fostering peace, creating water and sanitation hygiene, fostering economic empowerment, and which other one have I forgotten? Yeah. The environment, protecting our environment, and also fighting for our mothers and children as well. So for you, District Governor, I know this year, and of course in Rotary, for those who don't know, it has a very unique leadership type where you serve for 1 year. So you could tell us a bit about that and your vision for bigger, more impactful projects, as you clearly keep saying, and it's your rallying call. Tell us a bit about that, about the service community projects that are happening in Rotary District 9212, and your vision for bigger, more impactful projects.
Okay. Thank you very much, Caroline. as somebody who has been involved in the project space for over 38 years, I can't believe my luck that I have close to 4,000 highly skilled, highly intelligent members who are ready to work and just about do anything. If only we can harness and focus and arrange them to be able to achieve big things. So for me, that's the excitement. And then seeing what has already been done, and then seeing that this is a nugget that we can all come together and scale up to tremendous impact in the coming years. I'll give you an example of sand dams in Wingi. My first project visit as district governor. And there, the Rotary Club of Embakasi, together with partners, constructed 2 sand dams. The sand dams in a really dry area of Wingi in Kitui County, Kenya. And by constructing it, it provided water, each dam, to 4,000 inhabitants who had to walk miles and miles to be able to collect water. So this enabled them to shortcut that distance, have access to water, then have the possibility of doing other things, using that water for irrigation, using that water for to provide water and sanitation in the schools, to be able to start having time for economic activities. Now, the beauty of the sand dams is that in one river, you can have a sand dam every 150 to 200 meters. So by scaling this up 10 times, you can now touch 400,000. And the domino effect will be enormous in terms of economic activity, in terms of mother and child care, in terms of everything within our 7 areas of focus. You can now plant trees and so on. And then within the community, there's less theft, there's more peace because there's more economic activities for the youth. I also found out the power of letting in that singular voice when I met a lady from Kaimosi who had been married all the way from Western Kenya and settled in Wingi, dry as it was. And through her and with her, they were able to bring together that community to be able to apply for these, to set up in the units and be able to receive this intervention by Rotary. The importance of listening to every voice, that the voice from afar most likely has the solution to your issues. Be open. DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusivity really brings about powerful results. It brings about innovation. And I saw it with my own eyes. So applying that same concept to others, I've visited projects in Mukuru Sinai, where a club, Rotary Club of Lavite and Dioni, is providing mother and child care by equipping maternity hospitals to provide care for women in the slums so that children born have a chance of life. A project like that is easy to scale up because of its simplicity, but the power in which it delivers, the results in what it delivers to the women and children. I saw an economic empowerment project and a home hygiene in Nyamira in Western Kenya, where families and communities are being introduced to the basics of keeping house clean, keeping mosquitoes away, having a proper sanitary toilet, and then mixing that with economic activities that bring them together and earn an income like beekeeping, etc. In Nakuru, I witnessed a water and sanitation project about harnessing rainwater. As we know, in the Rift Valley, local water contains a lot of nutrients that causes a discoloration of the teeth and weakening of bones in children. And so they're trapping rainwater with gutters and putting them into 10,000 liter tanks. And they've done 8,000 of them. the possibility of scaling this up by bringing other clubs together to get a bigger and more impactful grant is tremendous. And so the clubs, they are working together to see how they can expand it over the entire Rift Valley. I can go on and on, but there's so many examples of possibilities, harnessing the numbers, harnessing the vocations, harnessing the power of our Rotary Foundation to really deliver a real sustainable impact in our communities.
Fantastic. That is so rich in such a short amount of time. And of course, I'm looking forward to hearing also about the projects that Rotaractors are currently engaged in this Rotary year. But before I come to that, I'd want to have a follow-up question, DG, about the vocations and the projects. We have said that Rotarians are people of action. And you've mentioned very, seemingly very big, impactful projects in the communities we are doing. Do we utilize all the professions? When we say, for example, you have a project in Mwingi, how can you bring together the engineer, the journalist, the artist? How are all the members in a club put together to work on one project?
Thank you. We have everything that we need within our own membership, but we do not allow them, we do not encourage them to practice what they're doing every day. We need to organize them. We need to release them. We need to allow them to really deliver what they already have in the most powerful way. And by doing so, we'll be able to have better project delivery mechanism. That is an area where we need a lot of strength. We need strengthening on our project management skills. And we have so many project managers. Every other day when I hear people standing up with their vocations, they always say about project management, but never do I have a connection that this project manager is also the primary contact for a global grant. So we have that disconnect. We need to realign, really harness these skill sets that we have to deliver, because everyone has a role, the legal mind, the finance mind, and so on, the business mind, the connector mind, to be able to deliver this project. Everybody has an important role, but we need to align them to suit their vocation.
Yeah, well, fantastic. And for you, Nancy, tell us, what projects are Rotaractors engaged in? We know the 7 focus areas for Rotary also apply to Rotaract. What are the Rotaractors up to?
I am excited that one Rotaractors are now doing bigger,
more impactful.
We've been singing that song for some time, and instead of doing events, as you call them, which are still impactful and good to do once in a while, we're talking about sustainable projects that will run and have impact with like huge numbers. I have encountered a project that involves street kids and rehabilitation of street kids and the homes they stay in, which involved, you could see how there was inclusion of reconstruction of the places they stay, because when you find out the conditions, when a street kid wants to get to a home, they want to have a place that is more conducive than the streets. The initial plan was to motivate the kids to stay in the home, which included the food, the water, a pumping system for kids not to go fetch water in the river, renovating of the houses that they were staying in, getting better mattresses and bigger beds because of the conditions that are currently existing. I have encountered schools that have gotten a lot of desk donations, which included even the fixing of the desks that the Rotaractors installed. I have encountered toilet construction in Nyeri, in Kitale, and the children's safe houses. I know Langata is currently doing a safe house for children. Yes, it is a secret location, but it is the basic education aspect of it. The children are currently champions at national level in chess. You know, it's the small wins and the big ones that are impactful, that you feel the joy of it and the impact that it is created. In Masai Mara, we are, and Koilale, to be precise, we do have a project there whereby we're creating financial independence for institutions and homes, which in turn enables kids to stay in school. We train the families in the schools on how to start businesses. And we have partnered with organizations that now give grants. We train on the ground and get grants for the schools to start economic activities, which is now taps into economic development. And in turn, the school can now have basic utilities because the problem are like bills, how to have a library, the playgrounds for the children. Now the level of literacy is now increasing because now kids cannot stay in school. So I have seen projects that are very impactful in Rotaractors. I love the desire to grow and the impact that Rotaractors want to create. Right now, we have very many clubs that qualify for grants. Yet only 2 Rotaract clubs have gotten grants in the past at Kitengela in Naivasha. This year already have 10 that are in the works of getting grants, which is a win for us, which means we can now have bigger projects and more impactful projects. And I'm really happy the direction that Rotaract is taking now.
Amazing. It seems Rotaractors and Rotarians really are practicing service about that. So now, I want us to talk money. Let's talk money. Yeah, I've heard you mention grants. I've heard you mention partnerships. Where do Rotarians get money to do all these things? You've mentioned really big projects that I can imagine cost millions in both US dollars or even Kenyan shillings or Ethiopian birr. Where does the money come from?
Well, it comes from several possible sources. One, from the Rotary Foundation through the grant system. Grants that can range in value from, I think, $35,000 to $400,000. So that is significant, and clubs can have multi grants within a single club. Currently, it is 2. So a club can have projects under Rotary Foundation for up to 800,000, which is significant. And then through partnerships on a club-to-club basis, or partnerships with other organizations within the districts and elsewhere. Also, international partnerships that Rotary has, like with the Rotary Family Health Days and such. So really, the opportunities are really far and wide. The restriction is just how much your members are willing and able to do, being that they are volunteers who are doing this in their additional time. But by coming together, you find that and using a proper implementation mechanism allows you to do even more, even though you're busy by being the entity that monitors, evaluates, and directs, rather than actually does on the ground.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sounds interesting. If I wasn't already a Rotarian, I'd want to join. So does it the same apply to Rotaractors? How do Rotaractors fund their projects?
As I said, it is us coming together to raise the funds for the projects we want to do, getting partnerships within and without Rotaract, that is various organizations. And yes, now TRF. We were elevated last year, we are now elevated.
That's the Rotary Foundation.
Yeah, elevated. TRF is the Rotary Foundation.
Yeah.
Now that we've been elevated, we can now have access to grants, as is mentioned, with the figures that DG has mentioned. Yes, so it is the same concept.
So the money is there, the people are there.
Yeah.
So it's just about impacting the society. That's fantastic. Leonard, you mentioned DEI. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. You lead a district of 4 countries: Kenya, Ethiopia, South Sudan, and Eritrea. I am imagining that in this district, you have both the young and the old. Probably the Christian, the Hindu, the Muslim. You have very many tribes within a very small district. You've already mentioned the diverse vocations. How does it all come together under Rotary? Sometimes, some people will ask questions about the organization and who gets to join and what it represents. Maybe you can shed some light about how you put all that together.
Thank you. Rotary is a non-religious, non-political organization. It's not aligned. And so it allows everyone who is willing to serve, who is willing to abide by our 4-way test, to have an opportunity to come together to serve. our very diversity in our 4 nations, in terms of age, in terms of vocation, in terms of skill set, I believe is our strength. And the important thing is to hear the voices of everyone and then harness their willingness to serve in order to try and maximize the impact that we're able to do, and to provide them with the necessary tools. That's access to partnerships. We make sure that we train them to the highest levels possible, that we ensure that our communications, both internally and externally, sends the right messages to our stakeholders, to potential members, to the ordinary citizen, and of course, more importantly, to the communities that we serve. And then by doing so, you find that anyone who joins within the nations between the age of 30 till the end really has that same opportunity to serve, has the same satisfaction level, and is challenged to the maximum that they're willing to test themselves.
That makes a lot of sense. And I think even as the members come together and show their diversity, we've seen the youth nowadays using technology a lot, embracing technology, which may be, and maybe teaching even the older folk. Maybe you can talk about a bit on how Rotaractors are harnessing the use of technology, especially to stay in contact with other Rotaractors from around the world, and being one, and how you come together as one using technology.
I think technology is one of the biggest gifts that's happened to mankind. Because let me use an example right now. We do the Rotaractor magazine edition quarterly. The first quarter was the Billboard edition, just our district, but the second quarter is a partnership of District 9-2-2, that is Kenya, Ethiopia, and South Sudan, District 9-2-3, which is Uganda, and 9-2-4, which is Uganda and Tanzania. Those are people in different locations. The magazine will be unison and will highlight each district as an equal and big magnitude. The January edition is an African edition of several countries, and the final one is international. And I have seen clubs, I have honestly signed several partnerships with clubs, and having twin clubs all the way in India, all the way in West Africa. And it is exciting that we can discuss our different cultures, our different ideas, and work together to see how we can bring all that on the table and work and make the biggest impact that we can.
Yeah.
So yes, technology is doing everything for us.
Yes, I think, like you said, technology is, and what you said about diversity is bringing the Rotarians together. And we also know that another aspect of Rotary is, being able to exchange ideas. And as Rotarians come together, we are coming together to join leaders. We're coming together to take action. And we're coming together to exchange ideas. What are some of the ways that networking is available for Rotarians? There are Rotarians who've come here maybe to make business deals. They want to improve their businesses. Other people are coming here looking for a husband or a wife. And also opportunities for travel. We've had it said that Rotary and Rotaract allow people to, travel. Maybe you can touch a bit on how do Rotarians come together and what avenues exist to exchange ideas.
So many. It's almost, it would take me a whole day to explain, but let me try it.
Yeah.
Start with the basics. The opportunity to network for friendship begins with membership in a club. If you're 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, it begins there. Both the members and their families, because they tend to have family events and so on. But the real opportunity to network is when you visit other clubs in your cluster, other clubs in your region, in your country, and in your district. In our case, that means that gives you access to close to 4,000 Rotarians in our district alone. Then we tend to have regional activities and events which everyone is welcome to come to. And then every year we have a district-wide event which we call our district conference and assembly, where all the Rotarians of the district come together, normally around 500, 600. So you have that opportunity for that. So that is at a district-wide level, regional, and club. Further to that, we have zonal meetings like the Africa Zone, Zone 22, like the Rotary Institute that I came back from in Lusaka. There we had about 500 Rotarians from all over Africa coming together. That's a big opportunity. The biggest is our Rotary International Convention, where you get 20, 30,000 Rotarians coming together every year. Our last convention was in Melbourne, Australia, and the next will be next year in Singapore. So the opportunity for networking, for friendship, for fellowship is boundless.
Wow.
Yes.
That sounds exciting. I'm almost packing my bags to join you. Maybe, DR, you can tell us he's mentioned the district conference, which happens every year within our district. Maybe you can tell me about one district conference that stood out for you, where it was, and what stood out for you in that district conference.
Obviously, Ethiopia, which is where I was wondering. Two officers, DR together.
Addis Ababa.
Yes, in Ethiopia, Addis Ababa. That was exciting to do. Also, my first time in Ethiopia. And it was exciting. We had, and it is a joint one. It is a joint with Rotary and Rotaract. But before that one, my first ever DCA was in Sun. I was still a very new Rotaract.
And I was in
Kilifi,
Sun
Resort. I was 2 years into Rotaract at that time. I was a president-elect, I remember. And I did not know. I was from Mount Kenya region. And we were like 5 people from Mount Kenya region. By now you realize that they're separated. Our country is divided into several regions. And we were 5 people from Mount Kenya region. But by the time I left DCA, I knew everyone from coast, Nairobi to Western. It was a very exciting experience. So that DCA was really nice. And Diani, the concert on the last night was the epitome of it.
The One Love concert.
The One Love concert. That was the 2021. Yes, but honestly, Ethiopia, Addis Ababa was
the one that stood out for you.
Yes.
To eat some injera there and for you. Yeah. That's fantastic. Tell us what you liked about Addis Ababa, and then tell us which district conference you're looking forward to.
Addis Ababa was memorable in that the spirit, the excitement had been building up over several months. And it all came together when we had over 100 Rotarians who had come overland by bus from Nairobi, the other Rotarians who had flown in, and just that spirit of we are one was really being birthed at that district conference and assembly. The mood and feeling in the room with over 500 Rotarians was electric. The venue was the very best that could ever be selected. The music, everything was just right. The attire that everyone was wearing, which was cultural, and everybody wore it to the max. It meant for an occasion that I think none of us will ever forget, especially me.
Tell us, where will the 2024 district conference be, and what should we look forward to in that district conference?
It will be in Watamu,
wow,
north coast of Kenya, 100 kilometers from Mombasa. It will be in April of next year, and it will be the latest and the greatest conference that has ever been held in our district and indeed in the Rotary world. We will gather there to swim with the dolphins, to have long walks on the beaches, to enjoy the cultural and the food, to visit ancient ruins, and have and enjoy the hospitality of the people of the north coast of Kenya. I look forward to it, and all of us should.
Wonderful. You've heard it from the man himself. So if you haven't registered for the conference, please do so. The link will be available on the screen right now. I think this has been an awesome session to get to know from the two of you how people can embrace Rotary as leaders, to exchange ideas and to take action. Now we're going to have a new segment that we haven't done before. And we're going to call this segment Fact or Fiction. Sometimes we have myths that are said about Rotary or Rotaract, the organization. And I'm going to give a chance to our District Governor, Leonard Ithao, and our District Rotaract Representative, Nancy Njeri, to answer these questions and tell us whether they are facts or fiction.
Here we go.
Here we go. Rotary is for the rich or wealthy.
Fiction. It's for everyone. It's for me. It's for you.
Is it true that you need connections to join Rotaract?
Fiction. Fiction. You just need to come as you are.
Is Rotary more than 100 years old?
Yes, fact. It was formed in 1905, so it is over 118 years old.
Rotaract is an organization for the children of Rotarians.
It is for everyone.
Rotarians are paid to be volunteers. There's some money to be made from becoming a Rotarian.
Fiction. Being a Rotarian is an opportunity to serve.
Rotaractors are aged between 18 years and 30 years of age.
Fiction. We were innovated before that was the rule, but as from July 1st of 2022, you can be a Rotaractor from 18 to.
We are 20,000 Rotarians in the whole world. Fact or fiction?
Fiction. We are close to 1.4 million.
Rotaractors are real professionals.
Fact. We are real.
That is good. Rotary is a cult.
Fiction. It's a global service organization with 1.4 million volunteers of various vocations who give of their time, their skills, experience, and networks to serve communities in need all over the world.
And now, there's no way we could have brought our leaders here and not put them through some pressure. We're going to take them through a round of quick fire questions where they're going to answer in a very short form the questions that we put to them. So we'll start one by one. Let's start with District Governor Leonard Ithao. Then now it will be the turn of District Rotaract Representative Nancy Njeri. How many Rotarians do we have worldwide?
Close to 1.4 million.
How many Rotarians do we have in Rotary District 9212?
3,800.
What countries are represented in Rotary District 9212?
Kenya, Ethiopia, South Sudan, and Eritrea.
What was the first Rotary project in the world?
It was a men's washroom.
Where was this project?
It was in Chicago in the USA.
Which was the first Rotary club in the Rotary District 9212?
Rotary Club of Nairobi.
When was Rotary International founded?
It was founded in 1905 in Chicago in the USA.
Where do we get the name Rotary from?
We get the name Rotary from the meetings, lunch meetings that were held on a rotation basis between the four founding members.
Which is the newest Rotary club in Rotary District 9212?
Rotary Club of Utawala.
What religion do you need to be able to join a Rotary club?
Any.
What will be the venue of the 2024 district conference?
Watamu, Kenya.
What will be the venue of the 2024 Rotary International Convention?
Singapore.
What is the name of the Rotary District 9212 Rotary Foundation Giving Campaign?
Jenga Foundation.
What is the largest Rotary project worldwide?
Polio.
What is the Rotary District 9212 theme for 2023-2024?
We are one.
How many Rotaractors are there in the world?
Over 300,000 in 11,000 clubs in over 184 countries.
How many Rotaractors are there in Rotary District 9212?
1,616.
What is the largest Rotaract project in Rotary District 9212?
The largest project would be the river cleanup, the one conducted by Rotary Club of Naivasha.
Great. When was the first Rotaract club formed?
13th March 1968.
Where was the first Rotaract club?
At the University of North Carolina in Charlotte.
Rotaract is a blend of which two words?
That question can go two ways. It is a blend of interact and Rotary, which is Rotary, interact, Rotaract, and Rotary in action is also where the word Rotaract came from.
How old do you have to be a Rotaractor?
18, yeah, and above.
One thing that people don't know about Rotaractors:
they show up for each other without even knowing who the other person is. As long as you're a Rotaractor, by default, I will show up for you if you need me.
What does RYLA stand for in Rotaract?
RYLA stands for Rotary Youth Leadership Awards.
One benefit of being a Rotaractor:
you get to grow to become a leader and a professional, and the opportunities that come for growth and the service that you give out of your vocation and professionalism.
What is the 2023-2024 Rotaract district theme?
Be bold.
That was wonderful. At some point, you mentioned that Rotarians are people that abide by the 4-way test. Just to be clear for our audience, could you maybe tell us the 4-way test, maybe together?
It begins by a recital of the things we think, say, or do. Number 1, is the truth? Number 2, is it fair to all concerned? Number 3, will it build goodwill and better friendship? And 4, will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Thank you so much. I think this episode of Tagline is beneficial to all concerned.